So it looks like Moms for Liberty has basically gotten caught doing what I think we all knew they were doing, which was just scheming to try to get librarians that are liberal arrested by, playing with the law and getting police involved when they shouldn't be and things like that. We got the story here. We're going to get into it. I am Brentley, and this is the Punk Apostate. Let's go. So, Moms for Liberty is a hate group. Full stop. They're just a hate group. Okay, they're insane moms that basically want uh, all kids to not be allowed to be gay or for anybody to know that gay people exist and things like that. So, and they're on kind of this tirade lately of banning books in Florida specifically because our governor allows for shit like that. Basically invited them to do it. That's what the laws in Florida here have basically done. It's made it so that any idiot can show up and decide that a book needs to be banned. Now, of course, all the books that are being banned are either written by Black people, are books about Black people and historically and everything, or have a gay character in it. Now, if it has a gay character in it, they claim that it is, that it's pornography. Because they don't. I guess they don't. They've never seen it. That's what it is. They don't. They've never seen. They've never seen a pornography before, so they don't. They think if a gay person's there, it's got to be like. Why else would it? Why else would they be there then? Got to be the corn. Jesus. So I found this article. This is in LGBTQ Nation, and it's basically Moms for Liberty got caught. They got caught. They fucked around and they found out, right? And so I honestly only read like a little bit of this because I kind of wanted to, just I wanted to experience this together with all of us. Okay, so so we're gonna read it together here. It's gonna be fun. All right. A mom is outraged that Moms for Liberty used her daughter in a harebrained scheme to ban a book. Moms for Liberty wanted to get a librarian arrested, but first they needed a crime. Yeah, that could not be more on nobody. Is anybody surprised? Is anybody surprised at all about this? I don't think so. Same lady. We did a video on this. I don't know what, last week, couple episodes ago. Has this lady on the thumbnail. If you want to go back and watch it, it's pretty funny actually. This lady's ridiculous, and I think that even the cop, cops tend to be a little bit more on the right side of the political spectrum. Even they were like, this is fucking ridiculous. They're like, no, this is not what we're supposed to be doing. So this is Moms for Liberty. Jennifer Tapley flips through storms and fury, which has nothing sexual in it at all, but it does have demons. And so, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what they were trying to do. They were just like, we'll just say it has sexual stuff in it, and then we can get rid of the demon book. It's a fucking fantasy novel. It's ridiculous. Okay, a Florida mom has accused the anti-LGBTQ hate group, Moms for Liberty, of accusing or of using her daughter as a pawn in a calculated scheme to get a book banned from a high school library. Earlier this month, Jennifer Tapley and Tom Gursky, that's this old guy right there, Tom Gursky. He's also a crazy person. Two members of a Florida chapter of Moms for Liberty. Why? It's funny that this guy's that Tom is the member of Moms for Liberty. That's weird. Seems like that's I thought they were really hard up about genders being anyway. Seems like he should be mad at himself for that gender thing. Anyway, two members of Florida chapter of Moms for Liberty showed up at a local sheriff's office to report the librarian at an area high school was sharing pornography with minors. After a 17-year-old student, 17 years old, holy fuck, what the hell is going on? Student checked out the book. They claimed its availability to minors was a felony under Florida law. So just out the gate. Oh, by the way, like it's funny too that because it's not funny, it's terrifying. But like, I watched a whole thing on, or not a whole thing, but there was an Answers in Genesis video that I think we're gonna do a patron um, video of. That there was an 18-year-old trying to get an adult trying to get gender affirming care, and they're just completely outraged by it. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow on Patreon. Probably be a bit of a trigger warning for that one, just so you know. But a 17-year-old student checked out a book that claimed its availability to minors was a felony under Florida law. But it has now come to light that the entire incident was a plan orchestrated by Moms for Liberty. Gursky told Aware News that a teacher asked the student to check out the book. So they set this whole thing up. Because of fucking course they did. The teacher's like, I don't know, maybe you should just check out this book. I don't know, could be kind of cool. I don't know. It's a fantasy book that's got demons. Hey, check it out. It could be fun. Demons are fun to read about. They are. Storm and Fury by Jennifer Armentrout. The teacher then handed the book over to Moms for Liberty to be reported. Gursky added that he did not want to resort to this method to get the book banned, but that the students' ability to check it out still provided the library had committed a crime. So, but the scheme goes even further. Oh fuck, what? Because that's bad enough, It's like just setting up the kid, It's not like, what do they call it, like entrapment or whatever. That's like, Jesus. But the scheme goes even further. It turns out the teacher who asked the student to check out the book does not work at the school or even in the county. What? What is happening? But they were just okay. I don't know. A source so popular information that the teacher was Vicky Baguette. Oh, Vicky Baguette. I don't. Sounds like a hobbit. uh, who teaches English in a nearby Escambia County. Escambia County. Yeah, Baguette has become notorious for her crusade to ban over 100 books from Escambia school libraries. Baguette has submitted almost every single one of the 150 book challenges being reviewed by the Escambia school district this year. Many of the challenged books are by Black authors or deal with LGBTQ topics. Baggett's actions have been successful in banning many of the books she has challenged and have led to a federal lawsuit against Escambia County in May. Book publisher Penguin Random House sued, accusing the district of violating the Constitution. The publisher sued alongside the free speech organization PEN America, as well as authors and parents negatively affected by the ban. Yeah, because this is fucking crazy, man. This is ridiculous. You're literally trying to remove just, any kind of information that disagrees with your crazy right-wing nutbag bias. And it's embarrassing and disgusting. Like, this is why kids like me become so far left, because you fucking lie. They lie, and then they expect us to be fucking too stupid to figure it out, man. Like we're just all like a bunch of idiots. We can't figure out that reality is not at all what they're trying to say it is. It's so fucking frustrating. And so they're just creating a bunch of atheists. So cool, good on you. Keep it up, Moms for Liberty. And now it seems Baggett's efforts have extended beyond her own school district. And now the mother of the student Baggett asked to check out the book is furious that her daughter was used without her consent. That was a weird used without her consent. It's kind of a weird way to say that, but okay, it's fine. I'm very angry. Quote, I'm very angry because my daughter was used to do someone else's dirty work, she said. Do I think the book should be in the library? I'm a Christian lady, and I don't think anyone should be reading those books. Okay. but I do not think my daughter should have been used to go to the police without her mother's permission. The group needs to fight on its behalf and not use children that they're trying to supposedly protect. Yeah, because this is all just a fucking game. This isn't real. Like, this isn't. They're not. It's just to get what they want because they're petty little fucking children, just like the entire Republican fucking party. They're petulant children, and it's so fucking frustrating. Let me go through some of these comments here. Oh Lord. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm like backed up. I have to like switch screens when I read, so I can't see the comments. Uh, let's see here. Logan said, "Moms for Liberty is named as well as Libs of TikTok." Um, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, Libs of TikTok is disgusting too. I mean, that should be a crime. Like what Libs of TikTok is doing and doxing people and putting out personal information. I mean, isn't that stochastic terrorism? Like, hey, everybody, hate this person, hate these people. Here's their fucking address. What the fuck? That's come on, Jesus Christ. Let's see here. Kasumi said, "I disagree with book banning, but some books shouldn't be in schools." I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what. Okay, that's very broad. That's a very broad word. Like, I don't know what books you're referring to. Are you talking about some that have been banned? Because I don't know. I mean, I definitely disagree. Um, just on the face of it, I feel like kids, high school goes all the way up to the age of 18. If you can't keep your kid, if you can't teach them enough to be able to check out the books that you think are appropriate for them, that's on you. Stop taking books away from other kids that could learn about queer experiences and things like that. That if you don't want your kid learning about that, okay, then that's on you. Don't take the book away from everybody because there are queer kids in the school district that need to be able to have access to those kinds of stories. It's crazy that we're doing this. I don't, and just because there's some sexual situations in there, they're fucking 18. When I was 12, I was in an abandoned house with one of my friends, and another 12-year-old propositioned me for a blowjob at 12 years old. Okay. And this is normal. That's not, this is not crazy. They're going through puberty at that time. Now, I'm not saying that was appropriate or anything like that. I'm just saying that it's fucking happening, and acting like these kids just have no idea what sex is crazy. And we're going all the way up to 18. I don't give a fuck about like what books are in high schools. You might be able to make the case for elementary school. Okay, fine. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about fucking high schools and shit. And most of the books that they deemed inappropriate for elementary schools were never in elementary schools. They were deeming them inappropriate in high schools with 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. Are you kidding me? So they can get into a fucking rated R movie. They can watch a sex act in a movie theater, but they can't fucking, but they can't read a fucking book about it. This is crazy. Come on. NC-17. They can literally go see the rating higher than R, that's worse and more explicit than rated R, NC-17. But they shouldn't have access to fucking books, though. That's crazy. I'm sorry. I don't know exactly specifically what you're talking about. Maybe there's one that I'm unfamiliar with, but I feel like, limiting information is not a good idea. Kids should be able to read it and then, make their own decisions about it. But let's see. Like Logan said, unless it's a comparative. Oh, he's saying like the Bible shouldn't be in a book like the Bible, unless it's a comparative. Yeah, that'll never be in school. I wish it would be, because I feel like it would shed a light on how bullshit is it of religion, and the Bible and all that type of stuff, because they can see when you see all the religions side by side, it's like you can kind of figure out that hey, yours is just as silly as the other people's that you're unfamiliar with, because the familiarity of it is what makes it seem so reasonable to believe. But let's see. Float up on the wind. Hey, Kevin, what's up, man? Let me get back to the story for a bit. Where is that? Moms for Liberty went after Storm and Fury due to passages they deemed too sexual. The book is a popular young adult novel that recounts a battle between humans and gargoyles fighting demons with an 18-year-old protagonist named Trinity. There's a makeout scene, and one character almost has sex. So we're banning stuff for almost sex now? That's okay. Jeez. The book has been recommended by the Florida Association of Media and Education, FAME, a librarians association, teen reads list, and by the school library journal. Barnes and Noble rates the books appropriate for 14 to 18. Jeez. This is what's so crazy. It's we have mechanisms in place, of people checking on these books and saying like what's appropriate for what age and things like that, right? But these nutbag psychos think nothing's appropriate for fucking anybody because they want to keep their kid in a fucking bubble. It's ridiculous. But but all of these other institutions that we have put in place to do these kinds of checks to make sure there isn't anything actually inappropriate. They're all they're all crazy. All them just don't get it. They just don't get it. It's what the Moms for Liberty psychos want. That's it. Jeez. When Moms for Liberty first reported the book, Armin Trout, the book's author, told Popular Information that Storm and Fury wasn't written to incite sexual excitement. Obviously. She said she was surprised to learn we are living in an era where apparently some adults find it inappropriate or find it appropriate to contact the police over a fictional book involving gargoyles. I think that same quote was on the last one. Tapley, on the other hand, and Popular Information, that any book, told Popular Information that any book that has a sex scene is pornography and not appropriate for minors. She acknowledged there may be exceptions for extreme classics. The fuck? What does that mean? Extreme classics? Like what? What is that? What does that entail? I wonder. But she said the book's Moms for Liberty is targeting without significant literary value. Wait, oh yeah. But Tapley, a school board candidate, told Ware that Storm and Fury is completely disgusting. It is a completely disgusting book that is definitely corn under Florida law. I swear, I guarantee it's the fucking demons. They were just like, oh, there's a kissing part, cool. We can get rid of the demon book. Excellent. This book is so pornographic and so vile. You just can't ignore it, she said. The district has reportedly removed the book from circulation. Oh, God, it's so fucking frustrating that these people have more power than just about anybody else. I mean, look at all the time that this lady had to spend doing this. You got to have privilege. Clearly, she's not the breadwinner in that family. Clearly, she's got way too much fucking time on her hands, to be able to run around and be going to fucking police stations in multiple districts to try for cut because of fucking books and just trying to get librarians arrested because she's fucking crazy. And you could see that in the video. She was so obviously crazy. It's so frustrating how stupid these people are and how much power they get. They're just allowed to fucking waltz around and be telling everybody else. We can't tell them that they have to vaccinate their children for fucking measles, mumps, and other things that can seriously harm not only their kid, but it can also spread diseases. We can't tell them to do that. No, but they get to tell other kids if they're allowed to know about Black people and what slavery entailed and things like that. They get to tell other kids that, but we can't tell them shit. It's this fucking crazy entitlement that you get on the right, that they know better than literally everybody else and, are completely anti-democratic. And speaking of anti-democratic, check out this video I found. Democracy is destroying America. It's a short one, because of course it is. I don't know why wouldn't it be, with this genius? But this is Shane Vaughn he is a crazy person that hates democracy because, he's not getting exactly what he wants. So he has to be mad that people are allowed to choose things democratically, and he can't just decide for everybody. So let me go through a couple of these. Let's see. You see me saying, if a Christian came up with it, then it should be awesome. Therefore, demons are awesome. There you go. That's awesome. Let's see. Logan said, it's like having a group called Humans for Humanity and lobbying for capital punishment. That's awesome. I'm going to have to remember that. It's like a group called Humans for Humanity lobbying for capital punishment. That is awesome. Speaking of capital punishment, it's so funny. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were basically telling me that, well, first of all, they were for capital punishment, saying, like, if somebody kills a bunch of people or whatever, we should kill them back, right? They're like, basically, the government should. But then I was like talking about public schools and like, hey, public schools are better than charter schools and things like this, right? And we have government institutions for situations like this where, it's people get left out, like poor people and stuff get left out if the government doesn't come in and do this type of stuff, because the free market doesn't give a fuck unless they can make a buck off you. So it's always better for certain public goods. I'm not saying like there's it has to be everything, but certain public goods like public education, I think the medical system, I think it's crazy that capitalism has taken that over, and everything's like should be government based, right? And should be publicly funded, and through democracy and things. He's like, you trust the government too much. And I was like thinking about that later, and it's like, dude, you trust the government to fucking kill people. Are you crazy? What? I trust the government to, because I'm for public school and not fucking private school, so that all the poor kids like just don't get an education. Because apparently if you're, don't make enough money, your kids don't deserve to know stuff. According, like if conservatives got everything they wanted, there would be no public school. There would just be private institutions and you got to pay for it. They basically, I mean, I don't, but it's just funny. But he trusts trust the government enough to fucking murder people, even though forensics is garbage. That's not like actual science. The scientists, universities, and things have reached out to forensics and been like, "Hey, can you guys do science the way that science is supposed to be done? Can you do that?" And they were like, "No." Like, no, we try to prove a thing, and then we prove it. And so there's tons of people in prison and shit getting tried and convicted and, capitally punished that weren't guilty because the system sucks for figuring out if somebody is guilty or not. It's a garbage fucking system. You can get a certificate to be a forensic scientist or whatever. It's like a 20-hour course or some stupid shit. It's like nothing. It's like maybe a week, but you decide. Those are the people that do the science that decides if somebody, has freedom or not, but I trust the government too much. That's pretty funny. Anyway, I don't know, you just reminded me of that. But let's see here. Let's see. Oh, you guys are having a conversation. Hold on. Sorry. I try not to like post up the stuff that y'all are talking to each other. I'll just, can't read Romeo and Juliet anymore. I know, right? There's definitely a sex scene in that one, right? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I didn't read it. I was homeschooled. Wasn't allowed to read that. What? No way. So let's check out this Shane Vaughn video of him railing against democracy.
Democracy is killing America. If it were not for democracy, the Ohio debacle over abortion would never have happened. Let me explain to you.
Hold on. So he's angry that, they put the state constitution, they put on the ballot for the state constitution the right to reproductive health, right? Which is what we have to fucking do now because the Supreme Court has been, taken over by crazy right-wing nutbags that are literally legislating against the will of the people, which if you put it to a vote, a national vote, like if people, whether or not a woman should have the right to be able to have an abortion, the right to choose that, it's overwhelmingly in support, 70% of the country. And I think it's overwhelmingly 70%, even in like right-wing spaces, like, even in like red states. I think it's just barely over half. But because they have Republicans in charge for everything, they can ban it and so on and so forth, because it's their rallying cry. That's all this is. This is just a way to get people rallied to head to the polls. And so they kind of messed up with it, actually, because once the Supreme Court overturned it, then they couldn't really use it. Like once they get the thing that they want, you can't really use it as a way to rally people, and this was never intended by the right to actually pass. It was supposed to be something that they could use to vilify the other side. And so they kind of fucked up when they did this. Anyway, but the people are actually against it. So when they put it in Ohio to the vote to have on the Constitution the right to choose an abortion, it passed with flying fucking colors. And now that's in the Constitution. The people spoke. And now more states are putting that. They're doing that. They're putting it on the ballot. And there's nothing the fucking Republicans can do because the people are deciding. Democracy. And of course, that makes this fucking idiot mad.
Quickly, our founding fathers were afraid of a day when evil would flow in the majority. And then the majority would vote and inflict upon the minority their evil agenda.
The minority that wants to force the majority to have to basically let people die because you think a cluster of cells, the size of a fucking fingernail, matters more than the person that's housing it.
They tried to protect us by creating a republic rather than a democracy.
Let's see. Ember said, that's true. In NY State, police take a 5-day course to become forensics experts. I feel silly for taking a 6-month program. No, I know. I mean, it is fun. I'm sure it's very interesting to take as a course and stuff. It's fun, but it's not legitimate science. That's the thing. And universities, like the professors and other science experts, have pointed this out thoroughly. And they were like, look, if we're going to have to try to prove the opposite, because that's the thing about science, you're not just trying to prove the thing that you think that you're a hypothesis, you're also trying to falsify it. So you're trying to figure out, you want to honestly know if something is true or not. Now, if you're just trying to prove stuff, then you can do that. It's not hard. In fact, the 21 grams thing, the weight of the soul, was a perfect example of that. It was based on like 6 bodies. What I'm talking about is somebody, a scientist way back in the day, I can't think of when it was. I think it was like the 1600s or some shit. Wanted to see what the weight of the soul was. So he weighed people before they died and then weighed people after they died. And he came to the conclusion that the soul weighs 21 grams, right? Based on 8 bodies and measurement devices that were not good, and basically was just trying to prove that the soul had weight, So he was starting from a premise that was kind of already begging the question. He's already like, okay, there is definitely a soul. Now we just got to figure out how much it weighs. There's no evidence of a soul in the first place, but the dude's acting like that's the case, and then now attempting to weigh it, right? And so because the devices that he was using were so unreliable, he was able to, after 8 people, 8 bodies were like, boom, 20, I got 21 grams twice, done out of 8, and that's, so you can prove stuff if you want to. You can always prove stuff, but that's why peer review is so important, and falsification, because people need to be able to prove your hypothesis false, or try to prove it false. If they can't do that after all the testing, okay, well then that is the latest, that is the model that we have at that time. And of course, it can always be subject to revision, and we can always keep on testing, and that's what we're going to do. And the more we get better equipment to test things, and then it gets more and more precise over time, and yada, yada, yada. But yeah, anyway, I went on for that about a while. Sorry about that.
But in Ohio, the citizens were allowed to directly vote on laws violating the very spirit of the Constitution, violating
What?
the very intent of
It's the will of the people, man. It's so weird. It's like, oh, it's like what the people want when it's convenient, but when it's not, then it's like, oh, we need a republic so we can just make these fuckers get in line.
our founders. The founders created a representative republic, and these representatives are to create laws.
We do have that, man, but it's in certain areas. It's not throughout. Obviously we have different people that make like the House drafts the bill, the Senate votes on the bill. Like those are people. So we do have democracy in the sense that we vote on something, but it's a democratic republic because we do vote some people in that are then able to make the decisions for the people and stuff. So it's both. It just depends where you're at. It depends what we're talking about. So it is a republic, though. It's just not across the board. And when they kick it back to the voters, then you kind of have to, which I think is very smart for the Democrats to do right now, because they have the people. They know they have the people on this, and it's hurting people. It seriously is. I mean, the fact that women can basically are forced to give birth is not good. That's just not a good thing. And basically saying if somebody has like some rare blood disease, this is what I always wonder. Somebody has like these rare blood disease, or not even these very rare, just any kind of condition. You can have like kidney conditions. You can have all sorts of conditions that if you give birth, you die. And we can tell that before you give birth. And they're basically like, sorry, you got to die. Sorry to say, the cluster of cells. Hey, that's a whole, fully formed fucking human just walking around in there. So sorry, you shouldn't ever have sex, person. Like, what the fuck? It's disgusting. It's crazy that they think they get to tell people that. Again, we can't get them to vaccinate their fucking kids for measles and mumps and shit, but they can tell women whether or not they can ever have sex if they have conditions like that. It's fucking crazy.
Not citizens. Why? Citizens could become so dumb that they would literally give away their right to bear arms if it was up to the citizens.
What? No. Oh, so you're saying that you're wrong about the arms thing too? Okay. Then that's just not true. Certain arms, right, to bear certain arms that are repeatedly used, to murder large groups of people, because the type of weaponry it is military grade with bullets that shatter and shit, and they're just made to just explode inside you, fucking you up completely. Yeah, those kind of guns. Yeah. Nobody's trying to take away your fucking handgun, man. I wish they would stop doing it. They're like, well, it's a slippery slope. Well, that's a fallacy for a fucking reason, man.
If it was up to the citizens, we've already proven during COVID, we would give up our freedom of religion. We're so dumb. We would give up our right to worship. We're so dumb.
Okay.
The founders knew that we were going to get so dumb in this nation that we would give away our very freedom. They created a republic to protect us from us.
Oh my God.
That
could not sound more fucking fascist, dude. Hey, we got to be protected from ourselves, because in other words, I want a minority to have power over everybody, and then enforce that shit through as authoritarian as means as humanly fucking possible. Jesus, these people, God, they would be so happy in Nazi fucking Germany.
In a document that the Congress shall make no law concerning religion. But what happens if we allowed the citizens to create laws that violates religion?
Oh shit. Yeah, please be careful. Yeah, I appreciate you hanging out. It's okay. I will. You can just do the ESP thing, and I got to get a CB. That's what this is. I need a CB, and then you can just chime in anytime. You're like, break. I got to fall down, showing it down, saying about down, but you're bound 4-9er. That's my CB impression. It's good, right? That's good.
You see the problem there? Even though the Congress can't make law, what if the citizens could? And they can. Just have a vote.
Yeah, democracy. I know. The thing that's created this wonderful land of freedom. you know, that you guys are literally trying to end for everybody. Like, if they could, I guarantee it, if there was like some vote that came out, it was like, should Christians be able to decide what everybody else is allowed to do? They'd all be like, oh, yeah. No, yeah, that's it. Let's just forget democracy. Let's just can we vote democratically to get rid of democracy? That'd be great. And then we can just decide stuff from now on. They would love that, which is terrifying. I can see if he said this idiot doesn't know what he's talking about. He really, really doesn't. It's embarrassingly bad. All right, I'm going to try to go back up and see some of these other. What is the... Let's see. Oh, he's a service. Oh, thank you for your service, sir. I didn't know. That's awesome. Buddy of mine was in the military.
Ladies and gentlemen, what happened in Ohio was a travesty against the republic. The democracy that we have given up our republic for is destroying our nation. Teach your children. Whatever you have to do, start rebuilding the republic before it is too late. Thank you.
And that was it. Yeah, that guy's funny. He's funny. And I feel like he's done every time that something passes that he doesn't like legislatively, he freaks out. Like he does this exact, I feel like I've seen this same title over and over again. And you can't have spaces in a hashtag, can you? That's not how that works. And it's all caps too. It's good. But you can't have spaces. That's not unless maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm crazy about the hashtag thing, but I feel like he does hashtags wrong. That's just not. But democracy is destroying America is just hilarious. The reason that you have the ability to do literally anything, sir, is because of democracy. And like, back to what I was talking about with trusting the government. I don't necessarily trust the government because I see how it can turn into a cartoon fucking shit flinging fest that has happened to where we have Republicans literally assaulting other Republicans because it's a fucking childish shit show that's pathetic. And we're all just going, I don't think the founding fathers ever thought that everybody would ever get this petty, and get just be like these fucking crybabies that are doing shit just to gum stuff up. I don't think that they foresaw this, but it's democracy. I don't trust the government flatly. I do trust democracy. I trust our ability to be able to come to conclusions in a democratic way. And that's why, we need to have a robust public school system that has better funding than every single time Republicans try to defund it and, knock it down and then start implementing things that don't work just so they can be like, hey, competition's better than, making it so that there's wheelchair ramps and making it so that the kids with behavioral issues can actually also get an education because fuck them, right? Fuck them. They don't deserve an education. They can't even behave, when it's done from the private sector, all those people get left out, and then you got all these people building up these institutions in a second, trying to fucking, recreate what we have slowly built over time through the public school system. But we need better public schools. We need better information being given to this, to kids. We need more college education available. The better the education, the more democratic the voters. That's just a fact. The right hates education. In fact, they want to hide information. That's like with me. I was homeschooled, and they wanted to keep as much information from me as humanly possible. And then do this whole religion thing to shut down your curiosity. Don't try to find anything out. Don't try to learn stuff. Just decide the stuff that I'm telling you is right, which should just be called faith. That's faith. Just decide that you're right. That's faith. I've heard other people say faith is the excuse you give when you don't have a good reason to believe a thing. And that's true. But I think it's a decision to say that you're right. I think you are deciding that you're right about something, even though it's like, fuck all the information, fuck all the evidence. I'm right. That's faith. All right, y'all. Hey, and if you have faith and I don't know. How is that? How if you have faith in good sex? I don't know. Fuck. Go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley at checkout, and get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Just go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley. That's BRENTLY at checkout. Get your exclusive offer today. It's good stuff. Get your butt some stuff. Get all the butts, all the stuffs. Okay. And if you want to support the show in other ways, liking, subscribing, and sharing the show, and commenting below. If I get anything wrong or you disagree with anything, just let me know. What's up? We can. I'm happy to have the conversation in the comments. But if you other ways that you can support the show is you can become a patron at patreon.com/PunkApostate, or you can do a one-time payment at Cash App, and our Cash tag is PunkApostate. I still haven't fixed it yet. It's right. Whatever. I'll fix it soon. Relax. Unclench, Kevin. It's all right. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together. But just if you want to do a one-time payment, and it would be much appreciated. Any amount helps. I'm also putting a lot more up on Patreon that is specific just for Patreon. And a lot of it's going to be like second parts to things, because a lot of these I don't have time to do an entire video. So I'll pick up where I left off on that video and, do more of that. It might not be the entire thing, because some of these videos are really long, but I will do a lot more of it in the Patreon videos. So, and it's good stuff. It's a lot of fun. So check it out. But hey, the main thing though is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate. And we will see you next time.